What are we drinking today, Aaron?
We're drinking Monster Pipeline Punch.
Pipeline Punch Monster. I have never had this before, but off the first sip, I think it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's fruity.
All right, well, welcome back, guys, for another episode of Customer Commentary. This time we got my good friend Aaron on. What do you do?
I work for a company called
Cheap Phone Store.
So likewise, we're cheaper.
Yep.
And so we attract a very interesting crowd of people. So this is just broad strokes customers, our run-of-the-mill. This is like a normal day for me.
Okay.
So for some reason, I don't know what it is in the modern cell phone industry where there's these advertisements for you. Yeah, you get a free iPhone.
Yep.
That's never true. I don't care what company it is. No one's giving away iPhones. But they see these advertisements on TV, and so they come in feeling entitled that they can just like scoop up an iPhone. Like they can like go like they can just go into like our back room and just like grab a couple. Like that's the level of entitlement some of these people have. Everything is clearly labeled, the prices for everything. We make sure, more specifically, I make sure that everything is good on our prices. And so we can show the customers, but they come in and they'll like complain and start a fit on it's advertised that I could get this iPhone or if I buy this iPhone for $50, I get a second one on the house. I'm like,
it's never that way.
It's never that simple. That promo specifically is for people like coming from like Verizon, from Boost, whatever, but it's never clearly stated. So people come in who are already with us. They're like, I'm a loyal customer. Why can't I get this iPhone for $50 and just grab a second one for free? Just scoop it up. Every time. And so I think at least once a week it escalates beyond that, where they're just like annoying about it. When they want to take it that extra step beyond the regular bit of annoyance, they'll sit there for like half an hour, 45 minutes to an hour, screaming and yelling that they deserve this phone for free because it was advertised, that we need to stick to our word. Now, mind you, these troglodytes cannot read fine print. It's always in the fine print, but they just refuse to read it. And when we show it to them, they refuse to accept it. So I'd say
like that wasn't there.
Maybe once a week, once every other week, we get these people coming in, and then we have to like, we're not supposed to kick people out of the store for just like complaining, only if they get violent. So we have to like call our managers and upper manage, and it gets into this whole ordeal. And then the cameras are looking at us to make sure we're doing everything correctly.
Yep.
And it's horrible. But this one freaking time, a customer came in doing that, complaining about getting a free phone, deserving it. It took my district manager, my store, I'm going to go up, my store manager, my district manager, my regional manager, and the head of the northeastern sales area.
Oh boy.
To be in contact with the store. The store, district, and regional manager were all there. The other guy, he phoned in. But just dealing with this customer because he started making so many threats. Like, he said he was going to, like, sue us. He was going to sue the company. He was going... Yeah. He was going to take our jobs. I don't know what taking our jobs means, getting us fired. I don't think he wanted to work there. I don't know. It literally went on until almost the end of the day. Until finally, pretty much without saying a word, he just, like, gave up. He just left. Like, it's anticlimactic from a story perspective, I know. But we were there fighting this battle. We were in the trenches with this guy, fighting him. Oh my god. It was like the scene in, like, Lord of the Rings or something. Like, the final battle scene. But then, like, the enemy just walks away. Like,
he just left.
Part of me was happy he left. The other half was pissed off.
I would have been happy he was gone too. It's like, fucking finally.
Like, I was happy he was gone, but I wanted, like, something juicy at the end. I wanted, like, the cops to be involved or something. Like, I wanted, like, the final battle, the big explosion, and it just never happened.
Yep.
I was just denied it. It was horrible. So, that was one of them. It was my second or third week of working here, so I'm still pretty new. I was on my own, first time. And the absolute worst thing happened when you're alone for the first time. Customer comes in, big issue. Now, this big issue wouldn't have existed at all if it wasn't for a coworker messing up.
Yep.
So
Sounds about right.
Let me explain. This customer came in. This was before I was there. Dealt with my coworker. She ordered this phone. Mind you, we can't order phones for people. We can't. Like
you can only sell what you have there?
Yes.
Okay, that
we
makes
can
sense.
we can pick stuff. We can pick phones up from other stores if they're near, like if they have them.
Yeah.
We can do that, but we can't tell people like, okay, this phone will be here by this date. We can't do that. We don't have control of our stock, like so. We don't know when we're getting phones, and we can't make promises like that. Like we can't because we can't keep them.
Yep.
This dumbass employee, he's promised this lady, hey, this Galaxy A20 will be here before whatever day. It will be there.
I see
because
the issue.
she needed this phone because she was going on vacation.
Yep.
So she really needed that upgrade. She needed to make sure she had a phone that was working, which is all understandable, respectable. This employee messed up by promising her the phone would be here on this day. And that day was the day I was alone. She comes in nice and sweet. She's an old lady, probably around 60. But she looks like a Sunday cartoon villain almost.
Oh, no. I know exactly what you mean just by saying that.
She looks like an old witch, but she came in sweet. She has a regular eye, and then her other eye is like wide open. I don't think she has any major problems, but she looks insane and crazy. She has like this very formal getup. Mm-hmm. It's a little intimidating, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like she could kick my ass, and she's like 60-year-old woman.
Well, she is a Sunday villain.
She's a Sunday cartoon villain. She's gonna cast a spell or some shit on me. She came in, sweet as button, asked, hey, my phone should have come in by now. I ordered an A20. I'm like,
You're like, ordered?
I'm like, yeah, so I was a little confused. I'm like, okay, let me check the back, because sometimes when we tell people we're ordering a phone, what we really do is we take down their information, and then we'll just wait to give them a call.
Yeah.
And we'll just put a sticky note on that phone, just kind of put it off to the side, make sure they get it. Mm-hmm. But there was no sticky note in the back on any of these phones. In fact, we had 0 of this phone in. Mm-hmm. So in my mind, I'm thinking, well, why did call this woman saying that the phone was ready? Turns out he never called her at all. He just told her beforehand that it was going to be there, which is dumb. So as soon as I tell her that, the second those words leave my mouth, she turns into this raging behemoth. I'm telling you, she went Super Saiyan. Like, she got her key boost. Like, you could see her energy levels rise. Her power level exceeded 9,000 at this point. The sweet, nice, calming voice disappeared as this shrill monster came out.
Oh, no.
I was told that this phone would be here today! And yes, she moves like that. Don't know why. And she keeps going and going, screaming, howling like a banshee about this phone. I'm not even saying anything at this point. I'm just like...
standing there. You're taking it.
I'm taking it. I'm just eating it. Like I'm going like rounds with Mike Tyson here. She's giving me the people's elbow, the stone cold stunner. And I'm just sitting there eating it. Flabbergasted. I can't talk. In fact, at points, I considered playing dead like a possum.
You can't get a word in edgewise.
I can't.
She's just fucking screaming at you.
Yeah, she's just howling. She looks at, because before I had gotten a insurance order in, the insurance company ordered, where we didn't order to the insurance company to get this phone in, so that's on the table behind me. It's not even the correct phone that she had, like that she wanted. It's not even that phone. It was like a Motorola phone she wanted, Samsung. That's on the table behind me. And so she points to it like it's the object of her desire now. She's like, I want that phone. Is that the phone I need? And I'm like, no, it's not. And she's like, sir, is that the phone that I want? And I'm just like, no, this is an insurance order. She's like, sir, you are not listening to me. Is that the phone that I ordered? I'm like, no! At this point, I was starting to feel myself. I'm like, I was ready to go for round 2.
Is that the phone that I need?
And then their tirade, after she finally learned, her tactics evolved. So at this store in particular,
Oh my god.
we have a couple of our demo phones, because we're the lower end in a lower end area. Our demo phones aren't real phones. They're just plastic paperweights, basically, that look exactly like phones. So they're locked in there for the most part. But she turns to this artificial paperweight, grabs it, and tries to rip it out, saying, "I'm taking this one! I'm taking this one, sir!" If it'll get you to leave my store, take it. It's not real. I can get another one for $12. But she starts threatening to steal these demo phones, which I remind you once again are not real. She has gone absolutely ballistic, and I didn't even mention this entire time the other person in the store because he was very quiet. This was
Was this a customer? Another customer?
No, this was the witch's husband.
Oh.
And mind you, I didn't forget to mention him because up until this point in the story, I honestly didn't even know he was there. My attention was laser focused on this thing in front of me. This weird monstrosity of this Karen, exactly. Literally a Karen. But this entire time, this poor old man, I like him because he seems sweet, and the few times I have talked to him, he's a nice guy. He's like, he looks sad. Like he himself was defeated. Like he was the handler of this monster, and he had failed. He had failed his charge in keeping her contained. Like, this was a man defeated. You could tell the fight in his eyes had left a long time ago.
He's just defeated.
He's defeated. And I look at him and we form this brotherly bond. We don't know what to do against the threat in front of us. Eventually, I didn't know what to... I was at the end of my rope. I told her everything, like, I can give you a call when we get it in. We can see what we can do about getting it from another store. We can we can do instead of the A20, the A10. It's just a step below. It's not much worse. She was having none of it. I was at the end of my rope. I was a man without a country at this point. I was about to go off the wall, so I call my manager. As soon as she knows I'm talking to my manager, Karen demands to speak with him. Just demands it. I was scared. I was timid. I'm not the strong and brave man you see before you today. No. This was my journey to becoming...
It was your first day.
Exactly. This was my hero's journey. It was my first day alone. This is one of the 12 trials of Hercules for me. This is how I became who I am. So I was just like, okay. And mind you, Devin, this is when I had just gotten my nice new phone. And this was on my personal phone, I was calling her. I handed, out of my best judgment, I was an idiot, I handed this tyrannical monster my expensive new phone. Thank God she didn't break it. She looked like she was going to at one point while talking to him. I put him on speaker. Did this. I wasn't fully intending to hand it to her at this time.
But she grabbed it,
She grabbed it.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay. And then I could tell towards the end of the conversation when my manager didn't give her what she wanted, she gripped tighter. And I could see the arm doing this, like about to go into a throwing motion.
Oh.
And I was just like, this close to throwing my phone. This close. Eventually, she didn't even hand it back to me. She just plopped it on the table. Like, she did one of the, she didn't place it.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. I was like, this bitch.
You can get out of my store.
Yes. So, eventually... she leaves to go to a different store to go terrorize them. And honestly, I don't know how it ended, but apparently she did leave happy somehow. I don't know.
Another one of your stores?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know how it ended, at least overall for her side. But on my side, I was a better man for it. I was scared, but stronger, more determined. I've never seen, to this day, a customer, well, until a couple days ago, a customer that angry.
Boy.
A customer that infuriated and pissed off. Animalistic, if you will.
I'm glad your manager, at least on the phone, stood up with the policy and they didn't fucking bend over backwards for it. Because that is the worst.
Sometimes we'll bend it like, not bend it, but we'll cut deals like waiving an activation fee or something.
What I hate is because obviously customers, they think they're
always you. Right. No, I agree. Yeah.
They think they're way above you. And then, I'll talk to your manager. And then when the manager actually bends over backwards for them, that's what gives customers that sense of entitlement.
Yeah, where they can keep doing it.
Yeah,
exactly.
No, if your store has a policy, you should follow the policy.
Stick with it.
Maybe if it's ever so slightly, that's fine because you're trying to keep customer retention.
Exactly.
But
if someone's really upset and they got fucked over and they're like, is there anything you can do to help me? I'll be like, yeah, sure. And I can save them $16, waive the activation fee for the phone. I'll call my manager, tell them what I did. That way if they they charge back for it, I'm responsible for it. And we could do stuff like that to or we can give them 20% off accessories or something. Small things to keep them happy. But majorly bending rules, we can't do that. So I'm very, very, very glad that it didn't end with her getting some special treatment.
Me too. That's because that's what gives customers that sense of entitlement to start with.
Exactly.
Is she's probably that, she's a Sunday cartoon villain. She's probably the type of person that goes to church. Oh, I'm such a good person. Then goes into the local grocery store and fucking starts shitting on all the employees there.
Exactly. So she comes in once a month to pay her bill. So I'm right here. I'm dealing with her. Mm-hmm. I didn't want to deal with her after this, because this is after the fact. So I was terrified. I wanted her out as soon as possible. But
how can I help you? Quickly.
I'm right here. My coworker is right here dealing with another customer.
Yeah.
They're having a back and forth, and they start speaking in Spanish. They're both Spanish. They start speaking in Spanish.
Whatever.
This racist bitch.
Oh, no.
Mentions, loud enough so they can hear, why don't they speak in English, because it's incredibly rude for them to speak in Spanish in front of us.
What?
I'm like,
how is that rude?
I was confused. I was legitimate. I didn't understand what she said.
They weren't even talking to...
No, they weren't even talking to us.
So what?
They were never at any point talking to us or referencing us or looking at us. They were having their own conversation. And her saying this was so confusing to me. I think my brain turned off and on like a soft restart. Because I didn't know what to say or do. I was just like...
It just sounds so stupid.
It made no sense.
Who cares?
She just does stupid things like that all the time.
Who cares if they're talking in Spanish? All right, let's get to the juicy story.
I was working in Holyoke, and then I got a call from my manager saying, hey, I need you to go to Springfield and help close over there because the guy who's supposed to close, he's not feeling well, so he's going home early. I hate the Springfield store, Devin. I hate it. But I'm like, okay, sure. And then he mentioned I might be closing alone. So yeah, I really don't like closing that store alone, especially because 2 weeks ago, the last person who was working alone got robbed. They took the iPhone 11 Pro Max, our demo.
Hey, if
he got robbed at knife point.
Kind of. Yeah, I was gonna say a tangent, not really, but if I was ever in a store in a position where they're like, "Hey, empty the register," well, here you go.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what he did.
It's I'm not putting my life on the line for this company.
Yeah, he put the knife out and then, he tried to rip the iPhone demo from the stand. And when the employee comes and asks what are you doing, he just pulls a knife on him and says unlock it. So he's like, okay.
Here you go, man.
Unlocks it and he leaves. So that happened not that long ago, and at that point I'm like, I don't want to close the store alone. But I'm like, okay, if you really need it done, I got you, do whatever. So I get there, and this customer comes in. It's me and my friend. We're closing. He's supposed to leave an hour before it closes, but I get there and he's dealing with this customer. This customer is off. It's this old white guy. He's like slurring his words. I'm pretty sure he was a little intoxicated.
I was gonna say
he's not being super aggressive, but he's not being friendly either. He's making remarks, kind of being a little rude. But he's having
kind of being a jerk.
He's having technical problems with his phone. He says his phone can't make calls.
Oh,
Mind you,
yeah,
the data was off.
Okay, figured.
One of the common things, someone just turned off the data, and they didn't know, so they come here thinking their phone's broken while it is pressing a button.
Yep.
So fixes it. He's on his way. Finish off the rest of the day, no problems. The coworker that I was talking about who wanted to leave early, he's still there like 45 minutes after his shift because he was dealing with a customer. Mm-hmm. And it's a big sale for him. It was like 3 lines, so 3 phones. He didn't want to lose that sale because he needs the money.
That makes sense.
So he was there late. Eventually, he's like, I'm just going to close with you just because it doesn't make sense for me to give you my key 15 minutes before, then you drop the key back off to me. I'll just close. So we end up closing the store like 5 minutes early. Not supposed to do that, but you know what? I was supposed to be off an hour and a half ago until I got conscripted into closing this store. Yep. So I wanted to go home. He wanted to go see his daughter as soon as possible.
Oh, no.
We closed 5 minutes
early.
early.
Where this is leading.
So
someone wanted to come in those 5 minutes.
This customer, the drunk one, slurring his word, comes back. Like a minute after we close the doors, lock it up. I close my register. We're done for the day.
Yeah.
That's it. Not 7 o'clock yet, but we're done. It's like 6:55.
Yeah.
6:55, 66-ish. He comes back, and as soon as he tries to open the door and puts more effort into it, and he's like, "Oh, come on, open the door!" I'm like, and then my coworker's like, "We're closed. Like, we are closed. Sorry."
Yep.
And he's like, "Oh, I have a fucking problem with my phone. You're not gonna help me?" I'm like, "We're closed. Come again tomorrow." Yep. So he starts harder and harder trying to bash this door open. Mind you, this door, it's like that, like a normal door, but it's like a normal ass door, and it doesn't even.
He's just trying to break through it.
He's just trying to break through it, and he starts banging on the glass now. Like the dude's about to break the glass, and we keep telling him we're closed. Come again tomorrow. And then my coworker informs me, like, yeah, this is like the 4th time he's been here today over the same problem each time.
He just keeps
doing the same thing.
But he's drunk, so
yeah, he's drunk. He's obviously drunk. And so my coworker's like, let's just ignore him. Okay, cool. This guy starts screaming and hollering. He starts now. My friend, he is a very nice guy. He is African American.
Okay. And
this customer starts saying some very bad words, screaming in screaming in Springfield. These very bad words. This guy, this black gentleman, won't open the store for me. He won't fix my phone. He sold me a bad phone. These stupid.
Yeah, everybody knows.
Everyone knows.
Everyone knows what
and
exactly
he's screaming.
Is being said.
He's screaming and hollering this. My friend, bless his heart, he was this close to just going outside and just beating this old dude's ass. Like, he was in a very bad mood, and he handled it very, very well.
Yep.
But I could tell he was about to break. And eventually, he leaves for like a minute and then comes back. Guess what he has in his hands?
A crowbar.
Almost a baseball bat.
Oh, close enough.
Where did he get the baseball bat? Who fucking knows? Maybe it's part of his little league team. I don't know. But he's like, come out here. And we're just like, what the?
At this point.
Yeah, we're like, leave or we're calling the cops.
That's exactly.
Yeah. And so he starts hitting the side of the. He's not hitting the glass window. He's not hitting the door. He hits like the side of the wall several times with his bat. Eventually, it gets to the point where we're just like screaming back and forth. Honestly, we just keep telling him we're closed, and then go back.
And so now I'm assuming you're there way past.
Oh yeah. This is like 15, 20 minutes after at this point. After like the The store's closed. Like, we probably should have been gone already, but we keep having to deal with him, making our shit go slower. And this dude is like, so at one point, I swear, he threatened to fuck me.
I'm gonna
Not fuck me up. Just fuck me.
I'm gonna fuck you.
Like, in his rage, he like started losing track of what he was saying, and so in between his racial insults and racism towards my other coworkers, he turned to me and started yelling gibberish. I don't know. I think he might not know how to insult a white person because all he has in his repertoire are racial slurs. So he just starts gibbering out nonsense. And one of them, I think it was several times he mentioned it, that he was going to fuck me. I wasn't prepared for that mentally. I don't know how to take it when an angry customer with a baseball bat says he's going to fuck me. I don't. I wasn't trained for this. None of my training courses prepared me for how to deal with this.
No, they wouldn't. Because this isn't normal.
Yeah. So eventually it gets pretty late. We're pretty much done. We haven't seen him in a couple minutes because he'd leave for like 30 seconds, come back around. We'd think he's gone. They'd just be back 30 seconds later.
Yep.
Yeah, I guess he's just pacing back and forth like a shark on the prowl or something. I don't know. This dude's looking for blood. We leave. We leave the store, lock it. We haven't seen him in a minute. This dude comes barreling around the corner with his baseball bat. I didn't know what to do. I stood with my friend. I didn't run away. I stuck with my friend, and we were in there having the same exact conversation like we were doing through the wall outside next to this guy. Eventually, it got to the point where, we just called the cops.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
As soon as we called the cops, he left. So, he just leaving. What do we do? And then my friend said he'd stick behind, wait for the cops. So I don't know exactly how it ended after that, but I was on my way home at that point.
That's just fucking nuts.
Yeah.
I'm glad your friend, like, especially after you left, I'm glad the guy didn't come back especially since he was clearly racist.
Yeah, it was very clearly extremely racist. It was horrible. That was one of, like, the worst experiences I've had. And to be fair, yeah, I guess we shouldn't have closed the store 5 minutes early. Those are definitely the two worst situations I've had with customers ever. That one probably taking the cake over
oh yeah, because that one's fucking violent.
That was real violent. That was my customer commentary.
Maybe we'll have you back on for a part 2 in the future when you got more stories.
Oh, hopefully. My line of work, there's always plenty.
All right, it was thanks for coming on the show. Appreciate you being here.
My pleasure.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Remember to like the video, comment on the video, subscribe to the channel. Anything else I'm missing? Go subscribe to youtube.com/boobox.
There's Boobox. I plan on actually starting to make... I'm either going to start my own channel, I have my own channel, but posting to there, or just being on here more with Devin. Either or.
He said he's got ideas.
And remember to click that bell.
Oh, yeah.
Click the bell.
I don't think I've ever said that.
Yeah, click bell.
Click that bell. All that bell does is make sure you get notified when I actually upload a video.
Yes, very important because apparently subscribing isn't enough these days.
All right, well, yeah, thanks so much for watching, guys. Thanks for being on, and
pleasure.
Have a fantastic day. See you guys.